Good morning. This is Laura Belanger from the National Weather Service Atlanta for your weekly briefing starting today, November 21st, 2023, and we do cover the Thanksgiving holiday in this briefing. So for some highlights, looking at the week ahead, we do have a progressive weather pattern expected through next week, a bit of a change compared to what we've been seeing the last few weeks. Now, the majority of the rain is expected to fall today, with cloudy to partly sunny conditions expected the majority of the rest of the week. We do have some cooler temperatures and at times breezy conditions expected through the weekend. And just as a reminder, D4 excessive drought does continue in northwest Georgia, and unfortunately, this rain does not look to put a big dent in that, and we're unlikely to see improvements over the next week. So this is our morning satellite image, or loop rather, that you're seeing here. So quite a bit of cloud cover over the state. This is going to continue through the day today, as wet and stormy weather is still expected through the afternoon. We do have clearing conditions expected by late tonight, Wednesday morning, as that rain moves out of the area. And chilly but dry conditions are expected for Thanksgiving Day. Now, as far as our threat for today, this is kind of a still picture of our radar for this morning, taken about 20 minutes ago or so. And you can see that there's some light to moderate rain over north and central Georgia. And for this afternoon and evening, we could still see some lightning with these storms, some gusty winds up to 50 to 60 miles per hour in those strongest storms. And while unlikely, an isolated brief tornado cannot be ruled out, especially as we get sort of this additional energy into the area this afternoon that could reinvigorate those storms. So this is a kind of a step-by-step by hour look at one particular model and what the radar may end up looking like through this afternoon. So you can see as we get through 9 p.m. now, 10 p.m., it does sort of wane as it gets into southeast Georgia, but we could see some strong storms move into the metro area later this afternoon. Now, this secondary wave of energy could again allow for some increased thunder chances. We could see some isolated, scattered, embedded storms with even potentially some pockets of better coverage there. But the rain is expected to end after midnight tonight as it does sink south and east of the area. And right now, low rain chances do return back to the area early on Friday. Now, as far as, again, our severe threat goes, we do have a level 1 of 5 marginal risk in that darker green color over much of the state, with just the level 2 of 5 slight risk area in southwest Georgia, near the Columbus to Americus areas. So as of right now, the main severe weather threat is going to be highest between 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. today. And again, the main concerns will be isolated wind gusts of 60 miles per hour in those strongest storms and a possible brief low intensity tornado. So you can see based on our severe threats on the lower left here, we've got tornado still generally low, almost no hail threat for today, a slightly higher wind threat across the area, and any areas that receive large heavy downpours over an area could see some enhanced flooding risk, but on the whole, there's a low chance for today. As far as our day 1 precipitation accumulations, this is from 8 a.m. this morning through 8 a.m. tomorrow. You can see that the highest rainfall amounts are along and north of I-85, totaling maybe an inch to 2.5 inches in those highest areas. And it does look like the topography will help aid additional rainfall amounts closer to that 2.5 inch mark. Now, south of this area, especially south of Americus to Macon to Augusta, we should really be seeing low rainfall amounts anywhere between a half inch or less. So in that in-between South Metro area along of I-20, rainfall amounts could be closer to about 3/4 of an inch or so. Now, as far as the forecast is looking for the next couple of days, it is looking like this low pressure system bringing our rain today and the corresponding cold front will move east of the area during the day tomorrow. And as far as Thursday and Friday go, it does look like high pressure moves in by Thursday. We should have some drier conditions, maybe some clouds hanging around, partly sunny conditions, but definitely less wet than we've been seeing. And Friday, we have high pressure still sort of hanging on to the area with some additional moisture moving up from the Gulf states. So the big question right here is as we start to see some changes in our weather pattern, low pressure moving into the area as we get into the weekend, this potentially on Friday could be the area that has the most amount of uncertainty in the forecast. So you can see Saturday and Sunday here, Saturday on the left with those low pressure systems in the area, and then on Sunday as high pressure resumes over the area behind the cold front. And again, models are pretty consistent with showing this kind of weather pattern setup, but it's possible that we could see, especially Friday into Saturday, a further northward extent in those low rain chances there across south and middle Georgia. Now, if we take sort of a generalized, averaged look at what the weather is going to be looking like today through next Tuesday, we have temperatures in this top graph. So again, this is the high and low temperatures averaged over the entire north and central Georgia area. You can see that today is really the warmest day with generally highs in the 60s. But as we go into tomorrow, it's looking like potentially the coolest of the days tomorrow afternoon into Thursday morning, where we could see some low temperatures dropping into the upper 30s. Now, Thursday through the weekend, it is looking like our average temperature is going to be right around 60. So the metro area is, upper 50s. Could be a cool Thursday Thanksgiving dinner for some of you, but on the whole, not too terrible. Now, our rainfall chances, as I was mentioning today, is the rainiest of days. So you can see that on the graph there with the highest rainfall chances. And you can see some peaks of additional rainfall, again, averaged out over north and central Georgia there on Friday, and then again Sunday as we get into early next week. Again, those are just low chances, but potentially that Friday event could have the most uncertainty as far as the northward extent of those low rainfall chances. Again, taking a closer look at specifically 2 days, we'll start with today. Highs in the 60s, again, one of the warmer days that we're going to be seeing here in the next week. And, an almost slam dunk day as far as rainfall goes. I don't think I have to tell any of you out there that it is currently raining outside or at least wet. And so this is going to continue today and then taper off into tonight. And I wanted to take a second look here at Thanksgiving Day. As I mentioned, it is going to be one of the cooler days. Our high temperatures across the area are generally in the 50s, low 60s down in the south and eastern portions of the state. And right now we are not looking for any rain, which is a welcomed holiday forecast, I think. Now, as far as our rainfall totals out beyond day 3, so this is looking kind of Friday night through the weekend into early next week. You can see on the map here, Georgia doesn't have anything for days 4 and 5, which is Friday night through Sunday night. And then the map on the right is showing you only low rainfall chances as we get into Sunday night through Tuesday night. So on the whole, while we are in this progressive pattern, we don't actually have a lot of accumulations expected. As far as our climate outlook goes, below normal temperatures are expected for days 6 through 10, so that's November 26th through the 30th, so through the end of the month. And again, the precip outlook is wetter than normal, except over far north Georgia. So definitely a change in the overall weather pattern we've been seeing the last month or so. And as far as our drought monitor update goes, this one was done last week. We should be seeing the new one coming out on Thursday morning this week, and not much of a change is expected. The rainfall that we've received over the last 7 days really is just not enough to put much of kind of an update or improvement in the map, and so we should be seeing fairly status quo over the area with D4 excessive drought up in far northwest Georgia, and that's the area that could really use those higher rainfall totals. So that's the weekly briefing for you. If you have a need to contact our office, you can reach out to us in one of these ways. Otherwise, we will be back with you next Thursday, a week after Thanksgiving, to give you your traditional weekly Thursday update then. Until then, happy Thanksgiving. Have a great week.